Yo, VIP. Let's kick it. Yo. So here we are then for round 4 of the Ultimate Racing League at Thingymajig's Racing Channel. I'm Thingy. How you doing? We've got a lot to get through because we've got tables, grids. So bear with, or just keep tapping the side. It gives you a 15-second jump until you see the cars move, and then the racing will start. But those who like all the tables and everything and the dramas, then stick with it. We're here for the Ultimate Racing League. League 1, round 4. We're at Red Bull Ring, and rumour has it she's going to get wet later. So, but before we move on, a huge thank you to the Ultimate Racing League sponsors. That's Dubby Energy. That's the energy drink for gamers. So if you find Fortnite frustrating, then you're not doing it right, because you're not playing it with Dubby. And same goes for all the other games, but Fortnite especially. Really get hyped up on that Dubby with that stuff. You want to get like you're bouncing off the ceiling. And then also, and this is a hard sell because it's September and we're going into the winter, we've got the Eldridge air conditioning, boys. And all I can say, at this point in the year, I know it's chilly, you might not need aircon, but we've all seen those 70s documentaries with the plumber coming around or the TV repairman. So do your wife a favour. Repair your marriage. Get the aircon boys in and they guarantee some satisfaction. Cool. Right then. League 1. It's an absolute doozer, League 1. We're using the BMWs, and they are not leaving anything to chance out here. They are trying to grab every single point because this table is lit, bruv. So, looking down then, we have Brisbane on 125 points at the top. He lost his 100% record though last round. Remember, he did not win one of the 2 races, so he's been crushed. Then we have Victor in second on 79 points, Nigel in third on 78 points. Do you want me to repeat that gap? Do you want me to do the math for you? That's close. 77 for Unforgiven. Do you want me to do the further math? Minus another 1. That's 79, 78 and 77 for second, third and fourth. It is all out there. It's all on the track. All the points are there to be had. This championship is tight for second. Rodders is 5th on 58 points, with Inky in 6th on 57 points, and Paul on 7th on 55 points, Slowpoke 8th, 53 points, and Declan 9th on 52 points. That's not a huge spread either. In that mid-pack battle of 5th to down to 9th is quite a tight roller coaster ride. Both of James Stephen, 10th, are on 46 points, with Stealth in 11th on 44 points. Seamus Cash is 12th on 39 points. Seabroad is 13th on 26 points. The Biggie is 14th on 24 points. Firepower 15th on 21 points. And Hodgie 16th on 17 points. There is battles all up and down the championship. It's an absolute banger. You would be a fool to miss any. Right then, also running is a team championship going throughout all, listen to this, 5 leagues that Ultimate Racing League run on a Sunday evening. 5 leagues: League of Champions, League 1, which is, well, you're welcome here, League 2, League 3 and League 4. And I've heard a rumour there might be a League 5 added soon, so that's going to be humongous. So the team championship. So there's 2 drivers in each of the leagues represent a team, and then all the points are added up throughout all the leagues, 5 leagues, and added together. So in first place we have Napa on 623 points, with Castrol in second on 608 points, Valvoline in third on 527 points, AP Racing is fourth on 507 points, Falcon are fifth on 484 points, Marlborough are sixth on 465 points, Lucky Strike are in seventh on 459 points, with West trailing in eighth on 433 points. So I think the last time that table was read out, Marlborough were behind Lucky Strike. Lucky Strike are slipping. I like Lucky Strike. I race for Lucky Strike. So I am obviously going to support a Lucky Strike. And so that's all. Now we've got to just move on to the grid. But I'm just trying quickly to see if I can just send this over, because I'm all alone here. No one's watching. So I'm seeing if I can do the copy of the link and drop it in the friends. See if I can find some friends. League One, there we go. Just 2 seconds, people. I know it's boring. Talk amongst yourselves. And now paste. Yes. Paste. Right then, we've got the grid. We have a grid to look at. So please, just bear with me. I'm looking for my bit of paper. I wrote all of the positions down, and then I've just remembered I'm going to do this a different way. Like I said, you can always flick that little side bit, not live though. Unfortunately, you have to bear with me with the live stuff. I'm nearly there. Honestly, I am so close. Oh yeah, that's it. Just bring it on home now. That's the one. I'm nearly there. There we go. Right then. So working from there's 15 have showed today. Oh, Chris Broadwith in the chat saying, hey buddy, hi, see, I found a friend. Nah. It was worth that wait to go and paste. Right then, let's do this grid. And I've written it forwards, but decided to do it backwards. Everything else I've told you, Ultimate Racing League, round 4, the Red Bull Ring. It's the Group 3 BMWs, and Dubby and Eldridge are your sponsors. And this is the grid. I don't need my glasses anymore. I've done the tables. I've just thrown my glasses on the floor. I hope they're not broken. So there we go. Oh, I might need my glasses for my list. Oh, bugger. And they're not even my new glasses. Oh, yeah, they are my new glasses. Oh, newer glasses. Firepower for Castrol in 15th place. We're round the corner here. Then we have the Falcon team of Seabroad. Car 56 in 14th. The Love Rocket, Rods, is in 13th for the West team. Then in 12th, we have Slowpoke for the Lucky Strike team, car 66. Just ahead in 11th for AP Racing, we have Stealth. 10th, we have in the Falcon team, Paul. He missed last week, so he'll be coming back with a vengeance. But he's got a job to do from 10th place here at Red Bull Ring. But it is the place of penalties, remember. And then we have another AP Racing of Biggie. He ain't messing, ladies and gents. He's in 9th, and he means to do business. He aims to misbehave. So Biggie in 9th. Then in 8th, we have the Hodgemeister, Hodgie himself for Marlborough, carrying that team. He's the reason they're ahead of Lucky Strike. And he's the man. Sorry, I needed a quick drink. In 7th, for Valvoline, we have Declan. Declan has been a big player this season, but he just hasn't got the points come to him yet. And he's a ticking time bomb. He is going to score big, and he's going to score huge very soon. Watch out for Declan. He's just about to arrive. Then in 6th, where is he? For the Napa team, it's Unforgiven. Starting this season with a dubious strategy. He has come strong in the later races and is now showing that he is a force to be reckoned with in League One. Seamus Cash, punching above his weight, ladies and gents, in the Napa team. Do we usually see him up in 5th place on the grid? Not usually. What can the Cashman do from 5th place? He is dicing with the big boys. In 4th, Nigel, the man who can, is starting to be known around this place. He has been there to scoop up huge points when needed. And he's starting high. He's starting high as a kite, ladies and gents. In 4th place, only 3 to overtake. This could be Nigel's win. In 3rd place, James and Stephen both holding on to that 3rd spot for Castrol. Have we found James and Stephen's favourite track? It could possibly well be 3rd spot. What's he going to do? In 2nd place, it's Brisbane. Brisbane not only losing a race last round, ladies and gents, his pole position grip has now been shook. And he's in 2nd place for Brisbane in the Valvoline team. I don't know if he knows how that feels. And on pole, it is Victor, the tyre destroyer. He has speed, and he is showing it in the West team. So that is your grid. It is fantastic. It's been a long time since we started this stream, so should we just get the hell on with it? I believe so. So here we go then. Victor leads them away. It's been a rolling start, but the line's pretty much there, so they're going to start straight away. So we've saved time already. Hey? My babbling at the beginning. No need. There we go. And it's a race on here with Victor leading them away. And Brisbane, not used to being in 2nd, will be trying to find a way past the West BMW as soon as possible. But Victor goes great guns in this beginning and heads into that 1st corner like he means it, and Brisbane setting chase. Then we have James Stephen pulling a little gap to the Nigel, and then we've got an inner team fighting here between the Cashman and Unforgiven, and it could be just handing over a position, and it looks very orchestrated there. Very nice move from Unforgiven, and I think Cashman didn't fight too hard against his team for that one, playing the team game. Valvoline, there is Declan, remember, dangerous Declan, we're calling him. He's going for a move. He's going for a move on the Cashman. He says, if you're giving spots away, bud, I'll have one. And Cashman onto the curb there, leaving him very, very open for Hodgie to have a go. And at the moment, the Cashman has been bent over by at least 2 drivers out there, seemingly nearly 3. Then further down, we've got Biggie in 9th and Paul in 10th. We've got Slowpoke in 11th for the Lucky Strike team, being chased very closely by the Rocket of Love. And Firepower there in 13th. Seabroad dropping back a bit, and Stealth dropping back a huge amount. Stealth not off to a great race here. Victor's pulled out a gap, and James Stevens got past the Brisbane. My good golly gosh. So James Stephen working as a team. Oh, one's on the accelerator, one's on the brake, and he's through up into 2nd. Brisbane having a little snake on the way out of turn 1 there, leaving him wide open for Nigel into turn 2. And it looks like Brisbane is struggling with the car here at Red Bull Ring. He's not extracted. Oh, but James Stevens had a little wiggle up ahead, and Brisbane is not going to waste no time. No time, sir. No siree, he is going to be upon the Castrol BMW, and there we go, beautiful, up, sends it up the inside, but the Steves comes back. He comes back, and it's a race on there with James Stephen up into 2nd, Brisbane down into 3rd, and they are duking it out, and this all works lovely in the favour of Signore Victor, who is now saying bye-bye as he disappears into the distance. James Stephen with another wiggle there, and Brisbane's going to leap on that one. Faux show, bro. He's not messing. So Brisbane trying to get the move up the inside before the 1st corner, gets on the brakes, gets on the apex, and James Stephen is chewing exhaust dust right now from the Valvoline car. Wowzers. Nigel there watching it, enjoying, but he's got a Unforgiven right on his spoiler, which is making it rather uncomfortable for him. Unforgiven having a look in the first corner, but thinks better of it because he is a sensible man. James Stephen then holding into that third spot, and Brisbane is setting about, he's rolling his sleeves up right now, ladies and gents, pimps and players, so he can go and try and catch up with Signore Victor, who is the destroyer of tyres, remember. Niggle then in fourth with Unforgiven having a wide on. He's having a huge look around the outside and leaving himself wide open to the Cashman, whom has a penalty. And yeah, I think these two are playing the team game. I think it's all fair. I think it's Stroll and Alonso, and Stroll saying, I'm playing the same game, I'm not racing. There's Declan, 7th, but he's got the Hodgemeister and Paul applying the pressure. Hodgie then up alongside, but Declan, dangerous Declan's got the inside line, but Hodgie's gone wide, he's gone late, and he slid a little bit there, and dangerous Declan can hold on to the position as Paul just stares at the back of Hodgie, hoping for a little slide there ahead of him so he can make some big moves. He's already made one big move because he started 10th. He's up and into 9th spot right now as they head downhill into the third gear corner, just sliding out onto the curb where a lot of penalties can be diced out. And then, ooh, they didn't even knock it down to 2nd for that corner. Very nice. And as they head up the short straight towards turn 1, which is as much jeopardy as any other turn in it. I don't even know if there is one corner that you'd say, yeah, that's not a bad corner. So Paul setting chase for Hodgie, but Hodgie is trying to get into dangerous Declan's car, who has a penalty. And now Hodgie set the trigger to, no, he sat back. He says, I can get this from the penalty. The Cashman, he seems to be holding off Declan quite nicely. So the Love Rocket, he's got ahead of Slowpoke, so the Love Rocket on the move, shaking it up, shake it up, shake it up, and the Love Rocket is dicing today. Slowpoke under threat from Firepower, Firepower on the move, he's on the brakes, he's into the corner, but it's a tight corner, and Slowpoke onto the apex, closes the door and says, no sirree, no sirree. And Firepower holding station in 13th with the man C Broad just ahead of Stealth, who is totally out of this race at the moment. Victor, fastest lap, 129.0. The man owns the BMW underneath him. He knows what it wants to do. He knows where to point the nose, and he is doing that job very, very nicely at the moment. Another fastest lap. Brisbane frustrated at seeing the fastest laps reeling off ahead of him. James Stevens staying with the Brisbanian quite nicely. Unforgiven up to 4th. He got the move done on Niggle. It looks like down the straight, and Niggle was out wide there. Will he get a penalty? He looked like he was across the white line, but it hasn't diced the penalty out to him, and he's got a lovely drive through turn 1 to go on the attack to Unforgiven, but Unforgiven is driving beyond the BMW today, and he is shaking it up, baby. Shaking and baking, as they say. Niggle then into 5th with the Cashman in 6th, hoping those two do battle to close up the gap for him to get himself up ahead of Niggle. It is turning into quite the team game nowadays. Hodgie up into 7th for Marlborough. Marlborough making big moves. Remember, they were quite far back in the sponsor championship and team championship, and Hodgie now adding to the Marlborough money market. Paul, though, in 8th now. Biggie in 9th. It's shuffling back here. Maybe I should hang around. Declan down into 10th. He was up ahead of Hodgie, was he not? And Seamus. Oh, sorry, Declan. We missed what the hell happened to you. It's not even a huge loss of time there on your lap times. It must have been this lap. You lost it. So Biggie then up into 9th. And he is keeping track of Paul ahead of him. Barely anything between the two of them. Dangerous Declan has had an issue. Cherry Bomb says lol at the aircon sales talk. Hey, it's hard to sell it in September. Just got to offer innuendos. Love Rocket in 11th. I'm sure Eldridge is going to be coming for me, gunning for me, saying, look, don't do my sponsor, please. Firepower in 13th, chasing after Slowpoke. C Broad, the broad man, absolutely. He's doing some cracking laps, but he didn't last time around. He had a bit of a nightmare. But that plays into the hands of Stealth's just too fast for this track, isn't he? Too fast for this track for Stealth. There's too many slow corners for Stealth, like in here at Red Bull Ring. He likes to let it go, baby. He likes to let it all hang out. So Victor is losing time, is he not? Brisbane's got back into the flow. He's got that purple. He's got his purple back. He's got his purple back, ladies and gents, and now Signore Victor has got to be concerned. He's got to be a little bit nervous of the lead that he has built up with the Brisbane now charging. James Stephens still holding on to that podium, and my word, they're widening the step for both of them to get on it because he has earned it. Unforgiven has been a beast in this race. He is driven beyond the BMW. He has made up places and spaces, and he is closing in for the podium. We're only on lap 7 of 17 here. I didn't even tell you how many laps we're doing of the Red Bull Ring. It's 2 sprints. You expect 2 races, and she might be wet later. That's what she said. So Nigel in 5th. He can't keep with the pace of the Unforgiven, and the Cashman could be a danger here. Could be a danger to the Marlborough running. Nigel used to being on the podium nowadays. Getting comfortable. We have a yellow flag situation. Whom? Oh no, Signore Victor! Brisbane has caught him absolutely unbelievably. He's going for a move up the inside. They're late on the brakes, and Victor pulls in, and it's a clean cut there. And Signore just loses the back of the Beamer, and that says to James, second. Stephen, we just got second. Stephen says to James, thank you, Stephen. That's very informative of you. Stephen says, I just noticed because Victor was at the side of the track. And James said yes. Unforgiven then up into a podium position. He is flexing. Nigel getting closer to the podium, and Seamus in a 5th. Hodgie 6th. Where did the Signore Victor end up? Paul is in 7th now. He's made up 3 places in this race since the beginning. Biggie ain't messing. He's hanging on to Paul, and then we've got the dangerous Declan in 9th and Love Rocket in 10th. Where is Signore? He's down in 13th. Oh my word. Firepower up and into 12th. 130.9. We've still got 10 laps to go. And Victor has every opportunity to make up some positions with his fast times at Red Bull High. Seabroad there, sitting back, chilling in the Austrian mountains whilst driving his Beamer. And Stealth 30, 32, 31. He is fast, ladies and gents. He's just pushing too hard. That's the problem though. Sometimes when you drop back, shall we go for a lap with the Stealth man? No one do anything for a lap because we're thinking of sitting on board with the Stealth man as we come up to the first corner. Get out as wide as you dare, down into 3rd gear. He takes that in. He's got to be second for the next one though. Powering on up through up the straight. It's a little bit uphill, which helps with the braking up here. You can do a little lift before you apply the brakes to help you along. A lot of people like to shove their nose up the inside there. It's very difficult. That's turn 2, ladies and gents. Circumnavigated quite well by the man Stealth as he heads down to the tricky turn 3 downhill. Braking, you have to take the hill into account. You want to get right over onto that apex. He's taking it rather late, and I like to get onto the apex and run it out to that curb, but Stealth takes it to the curb. Lovely stuff. This one, it's a lift, the dash on the brakes, but it's tricky because you want to continue pace. So you've got to keep dabbing the accelerator all the way through, touch that curve, floor it, then another dab on the brakes for me. Some people can just get through on a lift, but I have to slow the car down to get through that little chicane. And it's still going absolutely swimmingly there for the Stealth man as he heads into the tricky final 2 corners, one straight downhill. Feels fast, but you can lose it right there, but he holds on nicely, and then a little more speed taken off to get round the final corner and head towards the start straight line. start-finish line. Sorry, start straight. So Brisbane, the new king of the ring, ahead of James and Stephen, and it's looking rather comfortable for the Brit. James Stephen absolutely fell into his lap this race. He must be having a huge smile in that car. 1:28.8, his fastest of the race so far, with the Unforgiven chasing him doing 29. So James is Chilan and Unforgiven is Pushan. Niggle there, he's got the Cashman right on his jack. See the Cashman going faster than he's gone before, 29.8, and Niggle at 29.8 also. They've matched each other. It's just down to a mistake between the Niggle and the Cashman, and Hodgie is sitting in the... Oh, the Cashman nearly lost the back end. He may get a penalty, I'm not sure. The front wheel did look like it held on, and it did. So the Cashman absolutely leery coming out of the final corner and lost hardly any time. He's still there with the Niggle, but Niggle's teammate Hodgie is creeping up behind, and Cashman might be finding himself in a very uncomfortable position between in a Marlborough sandwich. Paul is closing in 7th. He has chipped away at this race, hasn't he, ladies and gents? Let's remember he started 10th in the race, and he has just got his head down, cracked on, and he has chipped and chipped and chipped and chipped until he has gained 7th place, and he's brought the Big Meister along with him. And the Love Rocket in 9th, but he's picked up a penalty. Slowpoke in 10th, with Victor now making his way up into 11th ahead of Firepower. Dangerous Declan, his race is getting worse. He started so strong, he's got a good pace about him, does the 29s, but the last lap around he did a 43, and that is painful in anyone's books, but it's given the Broadman something to aim at, which is quite nice for the Falcon driver. And Stealth, he's playing with himself. He's just dancing in the dark. He's just dancing in the dark. By myself, dancing with myself. Something like that. I don't know the songs. I'm too young to know those 80s songs, honestly. So Brisbane absolutely flying today. And with that loss last week, last round, he has bounced back, ladies and gents, back to the Brisbane we all know and love. James Stephen is going to big a huge haul of points there for Castrol and himself in that, in that League One championship. Where was he? Was he amongst all of those that have got all the very close points? Because this is going to... where is that coming from? Get it out. James Stephen, he's 10th in the championship at the moment on 46 points, so he's just below that 50-point battle ahead of him between 5th and 9th. So James Stephen's going to smash it into that little battle easily after this race. Unforgiven in 3rd. He can't do anything about James and Stephen. They are absolutely flooring it. This is their track. They said scrub the rest of the season, let's just do Red Bull Ring for the remaining 6 rounds. God, we're getting through it, aren't we? Round 4. Yeah, it's nearly halfway next week. I'm not going to be so slow on the replays. I do apologise. It's been nearly a week. Oh, what? Brisbane slowed right down. He's got damage. Good golly gosh. And a cherry with the cherry, and oh my word. I was saying such things. I said he found his rhythm back. He's got his mojo, baby. And then coming down into the final corner, he just asks a little too much of the rear end from nothing. Oh, what a shame for all Brisbane. No one deserves that. And is James Stephen going to win a race? Is James Stephen going to win this race? Is James Stephen going to win a race? Because we've only got one trophy. We've only got one trophy. We can't give 2 winners' trophies out. James Stephen, you old dog, get on it. Crack on, my son. Let's have some. James Stephen at the moment leading this race for the Castrol team. He's being chased by Unforgiven, and James Stephen has got to keep his cool. He's got to do what he's got to do. He's got to do what he's been doing. And it's been driving like a cool head. Don't lose that car, Mr. Stephen. You are our only hope. Unforgiven then in second. Can he hold off the powertrain that is Brisbane? He has been in the gym all week. He has been working on the legs. He doesn't skip leg day. He has 7 leg days. And Brisbane at the moment putting those calves to work with the accelerator and the brake, doing the dance of the sim racer, chasing down Unforgiven. Unforgiven under so much pressure that coal is turning to crystal. It certainly is. And then the crystal will turn to diamond. If Brisbane just keeps on the pressure. There is another race here. Nigel in 4th, Cashman in 5th, Paul's up to 6th. He's got himself ahead of the Hodgemeister. The Hodgie has lost a position for the Marlborough team, and who saw that coming? Because Hodgie was all over the back of the Cashman earlier, and now Paul is ahead of Hodgie. Biggie in 8th with the Love Rocket in 9th. Oh, we've got a team-on-team action here with Victor heading up towards his teammate. And I imagine Love Rocket will will allow him past, I imagine. No, it's race on in the West team. Nothing like the Hakkinen and Coulthard days then. Whereas Love Rocket holding position against Signore Victor. Then we've got Firepower in 11th, Slowpoke in 12th, Declan in 13th. Then the Broadman, Dangerous Declan, is having a struggle, isn't he? He's got some good pace, but slipped back in this race. The Broadman picking up a small penalty there as he chases down Dangerous Declan, and he's got Stealth a million miles behind because Stealth is in his own race with himself. James Stephen is leading this race. It's lap 13 of 17. Brisbane's got past Unforgiven. Brisbane has got past Unforgiven, and Unforgiven, he's just pacing himself. A finish on the podium is better than being in the scenery. Nigel as well has a habit of picking up those podiums, and Unforgiven will probably be very aware that he's got the Nigel behind him. And he's seen what's happened to people before. Cashman in the Napa team, absolutely owning this track today. And Paul up and into 6th with Hodgie slipping to 7th. And my word, Biggie ain't messing, ladies and gents, pimps and players. We're on with Biggie right now as he sets about doing some work on the Marlborough team. I need a sip of my coffee. This is far too exciting for a Saturday morning. Hello, pussy. Hey, that's not my wife, it's my cat. Sorry, it's disappointing. So Hodgie then doing what Hodgie does to keep the Biggie behind. Biggie closed right up there. Victor has got past his teammate, the Love Rocket, and Victor setting about. He'll be wanting to see what he can do in the remaining 3.5 laps against a Biggie. Hodgie, Biggie's on it again. Biggie is on it again. Can he do something about Hodgie? Hodgie putting a wheel a little wide there, but he's held position. He has held position, and Biggie, he wants it. That 7th place has got his name on it, he believes, and he is pushing on for it. How is James Stephen getting on up in the lead? I don't want to put the pressure on the man because he's got Brisbane heading towards him, and the last I saw steam coming out of Brisbane's ears. He's that pent up that he's not leading. The steam is just coming out of every orifice. But at the moment we're watching Biggie and Dodgy. Hodgie's gone a bit wide. Hodgie's gone a bit wide. He hasn't picked up a penalty, has he? It doesn't seem like it. They've got but Biggie don't need no penalty. Biggie ain't looking for no penalty. Biggie's going to do it on the straight into the first corner, and the job is going to be done by the big Meister. He ain't messing, ladies and gents, pimps and players. Don't even think for a second that he is. Oh, it's not done. It's not done. The Hodgie is fighting back against the big Meister. The Biggie heading up to turn 2. He's all on the inside. He didn't ask for any toe. He's gone for a late break, and it's not worked for him. And Hodgie still holding on. And it's going to be the penalty, I'm sure. I'm afraid, Mr. Biggie. You're going to have to get that penalty to get past this man today. It ain't happening on the track. And then Biggie again having a little look up the inside of Hodgie, but Hodgie, he's not messing either, ladies and gents. So Biggie, he's going to have to wait for the penalty to be spent. Victor in 9th, he's closing in on those two. The penalty will help him out a lot. As Love Rocket in 10th, Slowpoke in 11th, keeping Firepower at bay, but Firepower closing in at 31.5 from Firepower last time out. Slowpoke 31.0, it seems safe. Dangerous Declan 32.1, he is struggling to close in on those two ahead of him, and Broadman is holding on to Dangerous Declan. It's good stuff. Stealth in a race of his own. James Stephen then is leading this race. Brisbane is there. He's there, ladies and gents. It's the penultimate lap. How will this all end? None of us know. James Stephen trying to cling on to a lead that he fully deserves. No mistakes today. Clean racing all the way. He has played this one by the numbers, and it has paid. It has paid for him at the moment with the lead. But Brisbane is tracking him. Brisbane is hot to trot. He is on his way. Unforgiven holding on to a podium position because he knows Niggle likes the podiums, and Niggle there in 4th. Paul is up to 5th, 5 places. He's got himself ahead of the Cashman. I'm afraid we missed it. It must have been a couple of laps. Yeah, Cashman was a second slower than Paul that last lap. So that must have been when Paul executed the fantastic move that he had done to get that 5th place. I'm sorry, I can't catch all of it. Biggie has got the move done on Hodgie. It was the penalty. It wasn't worth watching. And Victor is in play. Victor has entered the chat. So Biggie ain't messing. He's in 7th now. Cashman's ahead of him, but he's too far to touch as they go on to their final lap. And James Stephen then, everything will be clenched. Everything is clenched in James Stevens' car at the moment. He is holding on, white knuckling this bad boy all the way. He's grabbed a purple. He's pushing all the way. His car nearly went. Brisbane's smooth out of the corner. He's going to get a great drive down this straight. James Stephen, oh my word, it's going to be a tight one here at the end of this race. Brisbane will not be beaten twice in one season. It is the law, and James Stephen is breaking that law right now, and he is doing everything, ladies and gents, pimps and players, to do what he can do to stay ahead of the mighty Brisbane. Unforgiven in 3rd. It's all good, it's all gravy. Cashman wants that 5th place back, but it's James Stephen at the moment on his final lap. Every single corner counting, ladies and gents. Every single piece of action that he does has significance in this race as Brisbane closes there into the final 2 corners. James Stephen is still ahead. He is holding on. He's got the corner. He's in the back end's okay, and now it's down to the toe, to the flag, but it's James Stevens who gets the win ahead of Brisbane. Unforgiven comes home in a great podium position, with Niggle getting best of the rest in 4th place. And Seamus Cash did get that position back in 5th, with Paul in 6th. And Biggie ain't messing in 7th, Hodgie 8th, Victor in 9th. Then we have Love Rocket in 10th. Slowpoke bringing it on home for Lucky Strike, the only Lucky Strike guy. No Inky today. In 11th, with Firepower coming home in 12th. Dangerous Declan there with a penalty. Oh, that's going to be a second. Hopefully he'll stay ahead of Broad in 13th. And C Broad, he does seem a second behind Declan. So C Broad just getting himself 14th. Wasn't his day. He did a 130 though. Got there in the end. And Stealth racing with himself. Playing with himself. Coming home in 15th. Excuse me, ladies and gents. I am so sorry if I screamed at you. I didn't mean to. I just blew a blood vessel and simultaneously released in my underwear all at once. I'm spent now. I can't do race 2. I'm sorry. I can see why some of these streamers do it in 2 stints. Let's all have some deep breaths. Let's all have some calm. Let's have some calm. Let's light a candle. Let's get a joystick on the go. Let's play some Enya. Sail away, sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away, sail away.
The passion rolling.
Oh, God. My good golly gosh. I need a moment. Chris Broadwith in the chat saying the passion with a laugh. Oh, man. James Stephen, though. Where did he come from? Where is he in the championship? He's had a mid-season so far. He hasn't shined like we know that he can. And today, my good golly gosh, yes, he's in 10th on 46 points. He just won. That's going to put him 25 points. That's going to put him right in the thick of this championship. Or, well, the championship that is second place. Because we've got older Maxi Brisbane out there. Or Lewis Brisbane, if you're team one or the other in you. I don't care for either of them. I like Max, I like Lewis. I like F1. At the end of the day, none of them hold a candle to Alonso. Right then, so yeah. Oh, calm thoughts, people, calm thoughts. James Stephen, well done. Well done, a great win. An absolute fantastic banger. Brisbane did everything he could. But that's 2 losses this season, Brisbane. And your dad's going to be leaving you at a petrol station, unfortunately, until you learn how to win. Unforgiven comes home in a fantastic podium position. That is a huge injection of points into his campaign for second place in this championship. Niggle. He's not on the podium, but he's there, isn't he? He's there, ladies. He always delivers. He is the butcher, because he does liver. Seamus, the cash man. What a race. What an absolute banger. I tell you, we've just witnessed a banger, and I missed most of the overtaking, I am afraid. The replays are out there. If you've got Gran Turismo 7, go and download it. This one's to archive, ladies and gents. So the cash man in 5th. I'm glad I waited, because I was poorly with the flu. And I thought about doing this in my tempered state, in a way that I could have just gravelled my way through it and snorted and sniffed. You would have thought I was like in Colombia or something doing the stream a couple of days ago. It would have been... You'd be thinking, wow, that's a lot of nose candy. But no, ladies and gents, no. I waited until I was back to 62% health. And decided this is when I'm going to do it. And even then, I didn't give it the full beans that I should have done for James Stephen. But Cashman in 5th, Paul in 6th, Biggie, Paul. Oh, Paul had a cracking race as well. Everyone, Biggie wasn't messing. He got 7th. Hodgie in 8th. Poor Signore Victor. Oh, painful. That is pain in its embodiment. Leading the race comfortably, ladies and gents, comfortably, and then the back end just going out on you. It was treacherous. His car was treacherous. So Victor coming home in 9th. The Love Rocket Rog just behind his teammate in 10th. Slowpoke grabbing 11th. Firepower in 12th with the dangerous Declan. What a race he had. He was up in 5th. He was dicing it, and then he was chasing the pack. And the Broadman in 14th, just trying to control the BMW beast below him. And Stealth also having a shaky race in 15th. One to forget for the Stealth man. Right then. Oh, shall we let him finish? There you go. Well done. Moving on to race 2. And I've heard the weather forecast is slightly damp. So let's go to collection. Grab that. Now, you don't look at the spoilers. Don't look at the spoilers. Don't look at the spoilers, because they tell you the positions, and don't look at them. Just look away from the screen until I tell you. You don't have to look away. Look away now. God, all right. Look away now. You're all right. They've gone. Right. I've got to pause this. It's too much. It's too much to try and do on the fly. This is the stuff that gets done off screen, so you don't see it, but I'm lazy. No, I don't want that. I'm lazy and cannot be bothered to do 2 streams, so it all gets bunged into one. So this is how it rinses out. Look, many people... I was watching one of the other commentators trying to explain the grid, and I don't think they quite got it either. I think next season URL reverse grid, or I don't know, it's not working. Everyone seems to have some sort of confusion. So Victor, he finished, when did he finish? Did he finish in 9th then? Maybe he finished in 9th. So he first starts. That's how it should be. So 8th is reversed and put to the back. And then from 8th place, 9th place onwards, shuffle upwards. So it's not reversed from 9th to 15th. Ooh, 15th, yeah. I was looking at laps and thought that was people in the lobby. I was like, ooh, 16. But, so yeah, this is correct. Someone knows what they're doing in League One. In the other leagues, I'm not so sure. It seems to be a lot of confusion. So Victor is on pole with the Love Rocket in second. Great for West here in the rain. Can they dice it? They've gone for intermediate tyres. Slowpoke is up and into third on the inters. It looks like everyone is opting for the inters here. It is a light shower, I should say. Firepower in the Castrol team in fourth. Then we've got Dangerous Declan in fifth. We've got the Broadman in sixth. Stealth in seventh. And Hodgie in eighth. So is this where it starts to reverse? It must be. Biggie in 9th, Paul in 10th, Seamus in 11th, Nigel in 12th, Unforgiven in 13th, Brisbane in 14th, and James Stephen in 15th. Let's get on with it, shall we? I think they're all on inters. They're mad if they're not. It's an inter race. Probably no pit stops all the way, same rain. Let's have it. And Victor leads them away again. Deja vu for Victor. Oh my God, it's an omen. And we've got a Marlborough really pulling out of the toe there. I don't know whom. Hodgie defending early doors down the straight. Oh, we got commotion. Did we have commotion? Oh, hang on. I think. Yeah, but it's Paul. So Paul there, has he gone for a late break situation up the inside on the... Oh no, I just think it was on the curb and nowhere to go. And Paul's back end did not want to play that game. So Victor pulling out a gap. His teammate Love Rocket is the cork in this bottle, holding Slowpoke and Firepower at bay as they go into turn 2. Oh, the Love Rocket is out wide and Firepower managing to sneak one through. No, Slowpoke, sorry, sneaking one through for the Lucky Strike team. And Victor looked like he struggled in that turn 2 as well. Firepower then on the Love Rocket. He was very wide. He's gone in late there as well. My word, the Love Rocket absolutely driving on the raggedy edge, and Firepower finds his way through, and the Love Rocket wanting to brake late in the rain into every corner and finding the car a little bit of a handful, trying to recover. Ooh, Firepower have a little wiggle on though, and that gives Love Rocket the opportunity to come back in the rain here, ladies and gents. It's a tough call. The Broadman is in 5th with Brisbane already up and into 6th place. 7th the Biggie and Nigel in 8th. My God, what's Brisbane doing? We'll have to go and have a look because he's slicing through the field. But at the moment, the Love Rocket on Firepower, all up and in his busyness as he tries to apply some pressure. Broadman in 5th. Then we've got Brisbane there in 6th already. He's cut through most of the field. He would have started in 14th, ladies and gents. So another one. I'm not going back to watch it, but another reason to go and download this replay and see it for yourself. Biggie in 7th. James Stephen, they've all come through. There must have been a huge one. I thought it was only Paul. Oh, Dangerous Declan having a mare. Again at the back, Paul. We saw his spin. The Cashman is back there as well. Stealth is in 12th. Unforgiven in 11th. Nigel, yeah, now they've started levelling out now. Hodgie. James Stephen has got by Hodgie, and Biggie is just ahead of him. Brisbane now closing in on the Broadman. And we'll see some action from Brisbane then as he just slices it up the inside. He's driving a different race, ladies and gents. Oh, a little bang on the doors there. All's fair in love and racing. And Brisbane nearly losing the back end out of that. Oh no, it was the car in front. It was Firepower, I think. Nearly losing the back end, or it might have been. No, yeah, it's Firepower. And he's got the Love Rocket right. Oh, Love Rocket's dropped back, has he? He was holding these guys back. So Victor still leads, but he hasn't done that before today, has he? So Victor leads the pack. Slowpoke in second, Firepower in third. He's got the Love Rocket right up his jacksie. And I'm sure it feels rather uncomfortable, and Firepower going very wide. Love Rocket getting a huge slide on, and Brisbane up to fifth. He's got past the Broadman, and Biggie ain't messing in seventh. James Stevens dropped. Does he drop? No, he hasn't. He hasn't got past the Biggie yet. But Biggie, we saw have a solid race in the first race. Not many mistakes from the big Meister. He knows how to get around the A1 ring. And James Stephen then in eighth with the Hodgie in ninth for the Marlborough team. Niggle just behind him. We've got team-on-team action with Unforgiven wanting to get by. Unforgiven having a look in the jeopardous turn 3. He's a very brave man, or a very silly boy. And at the moment, a brave man we're going with, because he's on the track. If he'd gone off the track, I would have called him a silly boy. So Niggle then holding on from the onslaught of the Napa driver, Unforgiven. Cashman just behind him, ready to do the team battle. Stealth in the action. Oh, Stealth's lost a position to the Cashman. Brisbane's moved up. Brisbane's moved up to third. Oh my God, what's going on here? What is going? I'm going back because it's something. There's Firepower. It's 3 wide. It's Brisbane Slowpoke. Oh, Slowpoke's had to slow down for some reason, I think. Firepower's moved up into second. Brisbane, though, snatches second away. And now Firepower in third. Then we've got Slowpoke in fourth. And the Love Rocket and Broadman has caught them up. And he's in the... Oh, sorry, didn't get rid of them. Got into the action. How tight do you want your racing, sir? As tight as it can be. And that's what you've got then. So Slowpoke in the action with Firepower. Brisbane snuck through, but no more. The Love Rocket as well in this action with them. And the Broadman wants to be in the action, but he just can't latch onto the back of him. And he's got Biggie not messing behind him. And James Stevens dropped back a little bit, but Paul was behind. No, it was James Stevens closing in on Biggie. Hodgie in ninth, still staying ahead of Niggle, and Unforgiven has pulled the trigger in turn 2, and he's got himself up the inside of Niggle, and the Cashman also doing the same. And Unforgiven blowing a tunnel wide open for the Cashman, but the Cashman cannot get in. Oh, in the braking zone though is very dangerous stuff to start messing about in turn 3, and he doesn't. Niggle in 11th, the Cashman in 12th, Stealth in 13th with Paul in 14th. We saw he had that earlier half spin in turn 1, I think. Dangerous Declan is ploughing the sand at the moment and seeing what the traction's like. It's probably faster on the sand than it is on the track. And Victor still leads. He's got the fastest lap so far, but Brisbane is hunting his prey, ladies and gents. And you know how Brisbane does. Brisbane does what Brisbane does. And there he does. Get a 33.7, fastest lap. Firepower in third. The Love Rocket past Slowpoke. The Love Rocket making the moves. Cha-cha-cha, my love. Cha-cha-cha for the Love Rocket as he dances his way through the pack. And Slowpoke then in 5th, right on his jacksie. He's not letting the Love Rocket get away. But he's got the Broadman right there as well, and Biggie just up behind them as we're on board with the Lucky Strike driver. Oh yes, he's got a lot of cars in his rearview mirror, and but he holds them off. And the Broad had a look, I reckon, around the outside, fancied it, but Slowpoke holds him off as they break into the treacherous third corner. And look, oh, you can see it just kills you. It kills you. I'll go back and have a look. I don't know if that was under his own, if he did that or if he was helped. I think he did it himself. It seemed late breaking into that on the curb. I think, yeah, he did that one himself. It's just unfortunate that Broad was there on the scene. But Broad, the Broad man, he does survive. Love Rocket in 4th. Broadman now up to 5th. Biggie in 6th. Hodgie in 7th. James Stephen now up and making his way into 8th. Unforgiven in 9th, starting to put the pressure on James and Stephen. Niggle in 10th with the Cashman in 11th. Stealth 12th. And Paul now moving up to 13th. Slowpoke gets going again in 14th with Dangerous Declan down in 15th. Then we've got Victor leading, ladies and gentlemen. Can he do it this time? Can he seal this deal? That is the big Q. No! The car goes sideways. I think it's done. I think it's curtains for Victor. Senor Victor, you must win. Brisbane then. He's on the hunt, he's getting fastest laps, but that is quite a gap he's got to make up from Senor Victor. Firepower in 3rd spot for the Castrol team. Big points there. Love Rocket holding on. We've still got 10 laps to go, remember. Love Rocket a little wide there. He might get a penalty. He might get Michael Massey'd. No, they deemed that fine. Okay. The Broadman under pressure from Biggie. And ladies and gents, you know Biggie ain't messing. He breaks down the inside of the Broadman and there's nothing there. And Biggie's got to be careful though, because he's got a rear view mirror full of James Stephen. And oh, there's action behind, there's action behind. Oh, James Stephen under threat from Unforgiven. Unforgiven swinging one way to another to see if there's a gap. And it's worked in James Stephen's. Look at all of this. This is crazy. This is fantastic. I love it. And Biggie didn't get a good drive out of the chicane. And James Stevens going for a move. And he's bringing Unforgiven in the toe. It's down into the braking zone. But no, Biggie's holding on. Biggie's holding on. Biggie's holding on. And James Stephen loses the back end slightly. And that could give him Unforgiven. But Unforgiven gets right off that accelerator. He doesn't want none of that action. And now he's left himself wide open to Hodgie. And now we've got ourselves a tow train. Oh, yes. This is groovy for a Saturday morning, ladies and gents. Are you getting your sim racing fix? Because you should be. Brisbane still chasing after the goal with Victor leading. Firepower holding on to that podium position from the Love Rocket. Broadman is doing fine, but Biggie wants it. And James Stephen, Unforgiven, Hodgie, Niggle, and oh, no. Unforgiven has gone around, ladies and gents. Unforgiven has pushed too far. So he's in 8th. Is there a nudge? It doesn't look to me. Oh, he kind of. Oh, that was a weird one. He gave the Castrol driver James Stephen a little nudge and ended up going round himself. But it was only a little love punt. It was nothing major. But Unforgiven absolutely undoing all of that hard work so far. We're only halfway through this race, not even halfway, ladies and gents. So there is still more to do. But Stealth now up and into 11th. Paul is 10th, and he is turning his bad day upside down. I think that's wrong. His frown upside down. And oh, Niggle's got a big wiggle. Niggle is wiggle. But he's gained it all up. He's gathered her up, ladies and gents. He's back on with the action. But that has helped Paul close in on the Marlborough brothers. As Hodgie there, and we got, whoa, James Stephen making a move on the Broadman. Is it no? Broadman ahead. It's Biggie. It's Biggie and James still in their battle. Still locked in, and it's James ahead of Biggie now, and Hodgie fancies a piece of it now, and Biggie just getting bent over in the final part of lap 8 by James and Hodgie. They just did a train on him. Broadman though holding on to that 5th place, chasing down the Love Rocket. The Love Rocket at 35.9 last time around. Broadman 35.9, nothing between the two of them. James Stephen at 35.7, just slightly quicker. Hodgie 35.8 and a 35.9 from the Biggie himself, who's being caught by Wiggling Niggling, and Paul in the action too. Then we've got Stealth. Oh, Stealth wants to create a new corner there. He thinks it should be wider. He thinks there should be more. And Unforgiven, after his spin, licking his wounds and trying to come back in this race. Slowpoke also another fallen hero. Cashman also fallen, it seems. When did he do it? Oh my, did I miss it? Did I get it? I go into a weird phase. I go into a weird sort of like, I don't know what's going on when I'm doing the commentary. So I don't know if I talked about Cashman being down there or not. And Dangerous Declan, obviously Red Bull, not a big fan of he's not a big fan of Red Bull, sorry. Victor still leads. That's the big headline so far. 34.6 from Victor. Still a nice gap. But Brisbane at 34.2. How much faster? It's only a few tenths in it. It's only 4 tenths. That's a lot to try and chip away at. Might tempt Brisbane to push a little harder. Firepower in third, but for how long? Because the Love Rocket has unleashed his beast, and he is up, and no, it's a big wiggle on, and the Firepower's coming back. Firepower's coming back because the Love Rocket lost the back end, but wow, he scooped her up. And he did a save there, better than the Durex sponsor on the side of his car. Good stuff. And the Broadman in it now. The Broadman has caught them up. Oh, did he give... He seems to go really slow there, the Broadman. And Hodgie and James Stephen. James Stephen is absolutely pelting it this round. Biggie in 8th with Niggle in 9th. Paul in 10th. We've got Stealth in 11th. Unforgiven. Hurt down in 12th. Slowpoke Hurt in 13th. Cashman Hurt in 14th. And Dangerous Declan, he's just having a bit of fun, and he's just woo, 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 woo. He's probably making police noises like he's doing a police chase. Come in, come in. There's a BMW. The perp's getting away. Get on it. Woo, 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 woo. So Victor leads. Oh, Victor! Signore Victor! Brisbane comes through, and he's doing the impossible. It looked impossible, but Victor, get going again, because Firepower is on his way. Victor then slowly limping away from the scene of the crime as Firepower closes in, and Brisbane picks up an absolute sitter. And Love Rocket also in the action there, chasing Firepower, but it looks like Victor has shaken it off, like Taylor Swift told him to, and he's cracking on. Shake it off, Victor. They say that I go too fast, that I push too hard. I don't know what they say. That's what people say. But when I'm driving oh so smoothly, I'm getting all the corners, and then I spin out. I gotta shake it off, So Brisbane leads with the Victor in second, Firepower in third. Then we've got the Love Rocket in fourth. James Stephen is now up to fifth, ahead of Hodgie. The Broadman slipping back. It's the Broadman that has slipped back there, with Hodgie up ahead of Broadman. Niggle is the next man to take on the Broadster. Paul in ninth. Biggie in 10th, Unforgiven in 11th, Stealth in 12th. We've got Slowpoke in 13th, the Cashman in 14th, and Dangerous Declan is just cracking on. And it's Brisbane at the moment. Broadman doing some musical notes. So Victor, poor Victor, eh? Poor West team. They thought it was there. They thought it was in their grasp. Firepower, though, fighting six more laps, should we say, for that podium, but the Love Rocket fancies it as well. A Double West podium would go down absolutely fantastic in the team championship table. Movement, James, no, James, no, James just takes it in there, hits the curb, and the car decides it did not like to be manhandled in such a manner. And from screaming his name for the win in race 1, we are screaming his name in despair in race 2. James Stephen on his way in 11th, and he's going to be caught by the Stealth Meister. Where is he? Can you see him? No, he's there. Ha-ha! Up along around the outside, but James is not messing with that. He's lost too many positions already, and he's sticking with 11th. Oh, poor, there has been some casualties of the Red Bull Ring today, and we are looking at them all here. Maybe even, yeah, Biggie. Paul was the first one, he's there. Poor Paul. Poor Paul. He's in 8th though. Making your mistakes early at the Red Bull Ring seems to pay off. It's when you make them late, it hurts. Biggie, oh, someone in the Falcon there, absolutely, with a huge wide on. He was sliding here, there and everywhere. The conditions are treacherous, ladies and gents. They are really struggling to keep these cars pointed. Oh no, where, who? It's not, it's Victor again. Victor, what's the matter, boy? So Victor just pushing, driving like an absolute... Ooh, that was a weird one. That was a weird one. I reckon he felt a slide that maybe didn't quite grab and counter-steered it, and it just flew off the other side of the track. That was an odd one there. So, Firepower, can he get second? Love Rocket on the podium. This is an absolute banger again, ladies and gents. We've got 4 laps to go. The Brisbane leads from Firepower in the Castrol team. Love Rocket in 3rd. The Rodders comes good at the ring. And you always knew if there's a ring involved, the Love Rocket would deliver. Hodgie in 4th. The Broadman is in 5th place. And Broad there with Niggle giving him some large behind, but Broadman is big enough to take it. But Niggle really is adding to that pressure. Barabito, Guccio, why are you not on the track? I race in League 3. Someone else does our commentary. So Niggle there, it's all over the place here with Hodgie, Broad and Niggle in a line. Hodgie, is he playing the team game trying to hold up Broadman a little bit? Am I being a little sinister in my old age? Looking for conspiracies where there are none? Oh, someone just dropped it. An AP car. Oh, Biggie. Biggie ain't messing. He's just gone all the way through there. Will he get a penalty for that? He seems all right, doesn't he? He lost a couple of positions, so that's penalty enough. Paul and Unforgiven battling it out. Looks like Paul had a moment coming out the chicane, and Unforgiven now is up and into 8th. Damage repair going on. Victor in 7th with Niggle now in 6th, chasing the Broadman. Hodgie pulling a gap out to the Broadman, and it looks like the Broadman has been in that Marlborough sandwich for quite a time now. The Love Rocket podium is on the cards, and it's not enough for him. He's chasing after 2nd place. He wants it all, like ABBA. Broad, oh, Niggle going for a move on the Broadman. Has he overasked the BMW? No, he hasn't. He just slid it into place, and oh no, we've seen a car, it's Victor. When things go bad for... No, it's not Victor, that's Victor. When things go bad for Senor Victor, they go absolutely awful. When it rains, it pours, Victor, my friend. When it rains, it pours. Slowpoke then, trying to close in with the Cashman in 14th and Dangerous Declan in 15th. We've got Brisbane leading the way easily on lap 13. Just about to start his penultimate lap. No, 16 laps, same amount in the first race, wasn't there? Oh yeah, just finishing off the hot brew there as Brisbane totally destroys the rest of the field. We've got Firepower. He's clinging on. He wishes it was the last lap, I tell you, because the Love Rocket is coming on strong here at the ring. And Firepower, he doesn't seem to have the artillery to hold off the West BMW piloted by the Love Rocket rods. Niggle now up and into 5th. The Marlborough team turning out to be quite an epic stronghold there coming through the pack. Broadman in 6th, but he's got Unforgiven on a comeback in 7th, chasing down the Broadman. He can see the Marlborough team as well. Ooh, Paul nearly taking out the back of the Napa car there as he was caught out by the the closing effect of the braking. Biggie in 9th. He's got a bit of a gap from behind and ahead. James Stephen. Ooh, the tyres are hurting here, ladies and gents. We're on lap 14 of 16, and those tyres do look quite painful. Stealth in 11th. They're going to be slippy out there. The Cashman in 12th, and Victor, oh, he is the destroyer of tyres, and maybe that is the story of his race, that those tyres just weren't up to the mission that he needed them to be. Slowpoke in 14th with Dangerous Declan in 15th. Brisbane then, oh, we got like a bookend of the Valvoline cars. Brisbane at the front and Declan at the back. Firepower then in 2nd, still keeping the Love Rod at bay, but every lap that goes by the tyres wear a little more and the rain is treacherous. It might catch them out at any time, and Hodgie fancies he might be able to pick up a podium here with Niggle along for the ride. Broadman in 7th, and he's got his teammate Paul coming up behind him. Ooh, Paul loves the late break, doesn't he? Oh, Paul loves a little late break there in his BMW, and that helps Broadman pull out a bit of a gap from him. Biggie in the AP Racing, he's sat in 9th, but he's got no one near him. Must be something to do with his deodorant. James Stephen, 10th at the moment. Tyres are not looking happy. He's got Stealth chasing him down, and Stealth he bring the rain on for Stealth because his race is so much more consistent than it was in race 1. And Broadman saying get ready for the last lap mayhem. There cannot be any more mayhem in this race. The Cashman in 12th, Victor in 13th with a penalty, Slowpoke in 14th, and Dangerous Declan in 15th. So the Brisbane has started his final lap. Firepower coming to start his final lap ahead of Love Rocket. It's now or never for the Love Rocket as he goes to devour Firepower. Hodgie still ahead of Niggle with Unforgiven in 6th place, closing in on the Niggle. Brisbane so far still good, getting around. Firepower looks like he's built a gap up to the Love Rocket through the first corner. Everything good for the podium. Hodgie doing a fine job in 4th. Niggle in 5th. Teammates working in synchronicity. Then we've got Unforgiven in 6th place. The Broadman and his teammate Paul coming along. And at the moment, it seems like this last lap is just survival. Biggie in 9th. James Stephen with a penalty in 10th. That's going to give Stealth that position, I am sure. Victor in 12th. The Cashman in 13th. Slowpoke 14th. Dangerous Declan in 15th. But it's Brisbane now bringing it on home into the final 2 corners. Beautiful driving from the Brits. And he's not going to be left at a petrol station now, I'm sure. So Brisbane comes through to take the beautiful and amazing win with Firepower in 2nd, just ahead of the Love Rocket. These two have fought all race. Hodgie is still there, Niggle. Then we've got Unforgiven, the Broadman and Paul. Paul's going for a look of the inside. No! Paul and Broadman, no. Paul pulls out of it. Then we've got the Love Rocket. The Love Rocket's through. Oh my word, Firepower then. Firepower in second in the last couple of corners. The Love Rocket absolutely plants it around the outside. He isn't messing and he got through. Love Rocket comes home in second. Firepower having a look, but it's the Love Rocket in second, Firepower in third. Then we've got Hodgie in fourth, Niggle in fifth. Great for the Marlborough team. Broadman in sixth place with Paul finishing in seventh. Biggie coming home in 8th place. Woozers. Oh no, Unforgiven. He was in 6th ahead of Broadman, wasn't he? Oh, last corner, giving Broadman an absolute banger there for 6th place. And Paul coming through in 7th. Biggie getting 8th. Where is Unforgiven? He's still not on the road. Oh my word. Stealth coming through and gaining a position from Unforgiven's last corner, and Victor as well. He knows how it feels. And Unforgiven gets going, but his teammate Cashman comes through, and that's and James Stephen then finishing in 13th. Not a great race for James Stephen. Looks like he had a bit of an issue on that last lap also. And the Cashman in 11th then. Victor finishing in 10th. Poor Victor. Whew. God almighty, that's better than a workout. I don't need to go to a gym like I go to the gym. So Slowpoke in 14th, and Dangerous Declan coming home in 15th. And I believe Declan has made a declaration that he does not like Red Bull Ring by his race there, going by his race. Brisbane back on winning forms again, and that's it. His dad will take him home now. Love Rocket coming home in second with that final move against Firepower. Holy Maloney, what a cracker from Rodders. And Firepower absolutely defenceless to Rocket. Yes. And a beautiful podium for the top three. Hodgie comes home in fourth with the Niggle in fifth. Broad in sixth. Paul comes home in seventh. Biggie ain't messing, he's in 8th. Stealth, a better race for race 2 in 9th. Victor, he's going to be waking up in the middle of the night screaming about this race. 2 easy wins thrown away by Signore Victor. Sorry, Victor, I don't want to rub this in, but, you know, they weren't easy wins. They're never easy wins, so that's fair. The Cashman in 11th, and these are all the pained, aren't they? Paul was the first pained. But then the pained after that was Victor, the Cashman, Unforgiven, James Stephen, Slowpoke, and Declan, all feeling the pain of the Red Bull Ring in the wet. And Brisbane reigns supreme. Beautiful stuff. Great racing by League One of the Ultimate Racing League. Don't forget, you can get involved. They're on Facebook. Find them. And they've also got a website. Let me read the website out. www.url URL Ultimate Racing League, all one word, .com. So it's www.url Ultimate Racing League, but all one word, .com. Check it out. Come along. There might be a new league starting, a new league added for the next season. So I hope to see you there. Please join us. That is everything. I will be a lot quicker with Sunday. What is next round? Oh, I knew the round. Buggering out. It's a track and I thought, oh yeah, that's not a bad track. The next race is... Oh, I saw someone write something then. Deep Forest. Yeah, Deep Forest. 2 races at Deep Forest. They'll be doing Sunday evening, and I promise it won't take us long to get the replay out. I'm going to be on it like a car bonnet. I think I might be covering... more URL action. There might be some Wednesday live multi-class action. I'm not sure. I know Paul can't make it, so he's asked someone to step in and do the comms. And I said, hey, if there's no one else, I'll do it, as long as I can do it live, because I love covering races live. It's just, you never know what's going to happen. And maybe at the end of this season, I think I might be doing a live 1v1. But nothing. These are probably things I shouldn't be telling you about until we have confirmation, and we have no confirmation. But it's just talk. It's just pie in the sky. Anyway, thank you everyone watching. Don't forget to watch all the other leagues. I'm in League 3. It's Ruthless Rufus that covers that. He does a fantastic job, because that is one tight league as well. The shuffling in that league is crazy. And then we have Mark doing League 4. Then we have Paul, I think, doing League 2. And the URL channel does League 1. I think it's Ian. So there's plenty to watch if you like that sort of thing. Don't forget, Snort Dubby, kids, it's cool. And ladies, if you are not satisfied, get some Eldridge in you. Right then, thank you everyone. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Peace and love. Peace and love. Word to your mother.